Hello everyone, my name is Robert Clark, and today's program is all about teaching you how to use this form called How to Calculate This Month's Sales Target, which should have been emailed to you yesterday. If you haven't received a copy, please go back to your emails and print one out. It'll be easier to follow. So as you can see, this form is got quite a few little boxes here. The first thing we want to do is say that this example has been created to match the example of the next form, which is the form you'll post called This Month's Sales Target. And so we could have done that one first or this one first. It's sort of chicken and the egg. We're actually going to arrive at the number here that can be used on that sales target. So I want to start by saying that the example on the other form that we used is making an example for February 08. So this form, as you can see here, we've marked February 08 here and February 07. The reason why we're calculating numbers a year ago and today is we're basically creating and discovering the trend between your sales this year to your sales the previous year. Essentially, to make a long story short, if you're averaging $50,000 of sales per month, let's say each month of 2007 or 2006 a year ago, and you're averaging $25,000 of sales now, and your February sales last year was $50,000, then you should not be setting a sales target to $50,000 because it's way too far away from today's trend. And so the first thing we want to do is calculate the difference in the trends and apply it to last year's February sales. And for some of you this is easy, but for some of you it's not. Either way, as I mentioned on other instructional videos, I'm just going to show you exactly how I use it for all of my clients, and that way at least you have a reference point of what we do with it and what my clients do with it, so that they can get a lot more success in their sales with their businesses. Fair enough? Okay, so as I said, we've marked down the two previous years, and since we are calculating February 08 over here, then the three previous months are January 08, December 07, November 07. So that's this year's trend. And then a year before that is January 07, December 06, and November 06. And so that's the numbers we're going to do. So we're going to start off by going to your financial statements, going to your income and expense statements, or however you write down your sales. And it doesn't matter whether you use your sales before taxes or after taxes. Just make sure you use the same set of figures, either after taxes throughout the example or before taxes throughout the whole example, and then you'll get an accurate number. So these numbers are before taxes, and they're fictitious numbers based upon a restaurant that doesn't exist. But here, let's say their November sales was $45,206, their December sales was $73,391, their January sales was $48,329. That would total $166,926, and if you divide that by 3, their average sales per month is $55,642. If we go further and calculate this year's trend, or the last 3 months, in November 07 this restaurant did $39,411, $55,642, $41,831, and the total for those 3 previous months is $136,884. If you divide those by 3, you'll get $45,628. Now if you have a look at both of these numbers, you'll see that this year, for this example, the trend is less sales than previous years. So we want to apply that to February last year's sales to get an accurate reading of what we should expect this year. Sound fair? Essentially, if we don't, when we divide those two numbers into each other, the trend 2 divided by trend 1, you get 0.82. So you're actually running at 82% of last year's sales. And if we take that and we multiply it by February's 07 sales, then you'll actually get 34,967. But you see, what we want to do is create a sales target that's higher than that. And my suggestion to all of my clients is 10% more. So this times 10% more is, I call this scale, and we'll talk about this in a moment. But essentially, 1.1, that formula, times the sales equals this. So as you can see, this is the number that's going to be your sales targets for February 08. Now I want to cover off a few things. First of all, If you don't want to write these monthly dates in here, you don't have to. However, whatever it takes for you to achieve these numbers. Secondly, your staff, your team doesn't see this form ever. They do see the other form that's created, your sales target, so they know what to achieve, but they do not have to know how you calculate it. They do not need to know that it's 10% over the trend that you're calculating. They don't need to know why you're setting the numbers. After all, it's your business, not theirs. They're essentially have been hired to help you achieve your business goals and not theirs. So over here, if you read this, it's a little sideways to fit it in here, but basically it says that if this is your sales target for February 08 and you make those targets, then I want you to take March's target or March's sales last year and multiply it by the trend, recalculate the trend, and then take, instead of 1.1 or 10% higher, make it 15% higher. And so if you reach March's targets, you reset everything, and then you apply 1.2 or 120% times April's targets. And if you reach that, you multiply it by 125 times May's targets, and I think you get that. But let's say you actually miss the target. As you can see, eventually you will miss the target. Well, what I want you to do is actually continue on the exercise, but reduce your multiple by 5%. So each month you make it go up by 5%, so 110% for one month, 115%, 120%, 125%. Oops, you missed that month, so the next month it's 120%, you missed that again, it's 115%, you missed that again, it's 110% times the values that you see here. Essentially, you don't want to go lower than 10% over your projections. You never want to set that as a target, and that'll always give you something positive to shoot for. As you can see, there will be some months that you miss your sales targets, and there will be some months that you reach your sales targets. What will happen is your sales will continue to edge up over time so that you will actually start trending better than last year. That's the purpose of this form. I hope you've found it easy to understand. Included, I'm also going to include a PowerPoint copy of this form online that you can download if you'd rather download this exact copy, this exact presentation to your laptop or to your home PC or business PC, so you can actually follow through a little bit more clearly. So you know, if you don't have PowerPoint, not to worry, Microsoft has a free viewer, and I'm giving you a link to that as well so you can open it up and look at it. So hopefully this has been able to help you determine exactly how to create this figure. Again, it's really just a form how to calculate this month's sales target. It needs to be done each month because, as you can see right now, we're comparing November 7, December 7, January 08, and when we do March's sales, we're going to compare December 07, January 08, and February 08. And so essentially the months that you actually compare will shift up and adjust over time. So hopefully that makes sense. If you found that it was a little difficult to follow or a little too quick to follow, stop the tape, play it again, play the video again, download the PowerPoint presentation if you want, and go through it, and you'll see it's not hard to do. You do need to bring your sales target figures for the last year, and if you haven't been a year in business, no problem. Do the best you can and compare the numbers that you feel you can compare. But obviously, if you've been several, 5, 10, 15 years, and let's just say you're trending at $55,000 a month now, and 8 years ago you were doing $90,000 a month. Well, I only want you to compare it to last year's trends. Don't worry about what you used to be able to do in sales. Let's just achieve a gradual increase over what's expected this year, and then everything will right itself. So again, you'll see this number on the next form, the monthly sales target form, so that you can post up for your staff, and we'll go from there. So thank you very much and have a great day.